Camden Town, boys and girls. Jazz singer artist Amy Winehouse passed away on the 23rd of July. On the 24th of July, her portrait turns up on the local Starbucks wall. There's a new artist in town. He goes by the name of Pegasus.
The stencil of Amy introduces a lot of people to each other and the subject of her. It points out that she was a resident here and a local, and angel wings signify that she's, maybe gone to heaven, and it's a very significant, important reminder of the great artist she was. She was very young when she died, and I saw her for the first time at the Jazz Field in Glastonbury Festival. And what struck me was how she didn't seem to have any rules, which I liked. She seemed to be really enjoying herself and moving with the music and going with the flow. That's what I like. I think it's really key with her, and that's what makes her different. And there's so many people going along with the laws and rules and rigidity that she was a much softer person, which was her undoing in the end. And I saw her again at Glastonbury on maybe the main stage, and there she was a little bit wilder, and she was picking on the piano player, I remember a bit, and which I thought was okay really, because he should have been able to handle it really. And her lyrics are very sad, and I think I personally can relate to them, because I know that you can't believe that someone can't love you as much as you love them.
I'm from Southside Chicago. I've been living in London now for about 7 years. Well, I've been very creative ever since I was a child. I've dabbled with many different kind of art forms. I love art, I'm very creative, I'm a very artistic person, but I've never really found anything that I was like 100% comfortable with until I discovered street art, stencil work, and it's so far been my favorite kind of medium. Well, first of all, the reason why I did the Amy Winehouse piece wasn't to get any sort of like media attention. It purely was coming from the heart. As an Amy Winehouse fan and somebody that knew her, I wanted to do it as a tribute to her. And to be honest, I never really expected any kind of feedback whatsoever. I never expected any kind of attention from it. So to actually get some attention and to get recognized for my work, it's something that's been truly amazing for me, because I never expected it. I never asked for it. I never went looking for it. So. Look, it's human nature. It's the same with with celebrities. You're gonna get some people that are on one person's camp, and you're gonna get some people that are not. So that's just the way that it's just all part of the business, isn't it? Okay, well it all started, it started by accident really. It was when Blake was in prison. I was walking home, and I lived near the prison where he was. And she just happened to be kind of standing right outside the prison. I'm assuming she was just kind of like visiting me at the time. And I remember walking towards her and not really recognizing who she was at first. And then the closer I got to her, the more I started to see it was actually her. And then our eyes kind of met, and then she kind of looked at me and she's like, "You ain't got a ciggy, have you, darling?" And I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't smoke." And then from there, that was my first encounter with her. And then I had another encounter, like completely out of the blue and unexpected. A friend of mine, which I didn't know at the time, was friends with her, and I went to kind of like a birthday bash, and Amy was there. So it's something I'll always kind of keep in my heart, basically. She was nothing. She was nothing like what people kind of portray her in the media. She was such a lovely, down to earth woman.
I could totally connect with you in the sense of, yes, doing research on the way as a writer, I write my song and I write, but I did my research how she'd written her the moment that I have notes, but she actually done a pastiche of past artists.
The fumes.
And as a writer, I was like, she observes things around her, uses basically. Fifth question, which you answered early on to us, but what drives you to do celebrity?
I'm a pop artist. Being American, it's part of my culture. We're celebrity obsessed. One of my biggest inspirations, since I've been a child, was Andy Warhol. I've always loved his work. I've always kind of admired his prints. I've tried to do my own kind of similar pop prints myself. Well, I was down Oxford Street when I found out that she had passed away, and I literally got a phone call from a really close friend who was friends with her. And I was in complete shock, and I started crying, even though I didn't really know her as well as my friend did. I was in complete state of shock. And the first thing that I thought was I need to do something to kind of pay tribute to this amazing British icon. And I went home and I searched through hundreds and hundreds of photos of Amy, and I could not find any photo that kind of, I have this image in my head, it's literally stamped in my head, of Amy Winehouse when I was in her presence, and it's kind of this really fun kind of goofy character that pulls these funny faces. But all the photos that I came across were very candid photos of her where she was posing and smiling, and I thought, no, that's not the image I know. And then I saw this one photograph of her where she's pulling this kind of dodgy face, and I thought that's the one. That's the image that I know. Yeah, and I looked at her and I thought, that's the Amy that I know, and that's how I'm going to pay tribute to her. For me, my art, I think, reflects my personality, and I don't want to go political. I don't want to do anything too heavy. I just want to keep it light.
Yeah.
And to me, that's my way of expressing my images of certain celebrities. Whenever a celebrity dies, immediately there's gonna be that kind of a conspiracy theory. Was their death because of their own hand, or was it because of somebody else? And to be honest, as sad as this is, I truly do not believe that foul play had anything to do with anyone else's death. For me, it's one thing I've always said about Amy was that somebody who's so talented in that way, somebody with such an amazing voice, somebody who's so powerful in the British music industry, can self-destruct that way, and that is the most sad thing about this whole experience.